Interfaith Study and Community Development Association in conjunction with Philadelphia Roundtable. Joining with me is my best friend Steven. We're going to have nice discussion and a good conversation right now. So I want to let my friend to introduce himself. So tell us about your name, what school do you go to, and what's your major?
Okay. I'm Steven Lopes. I'm a sophomore at LaSalle University, and I am double majoring in geology and environmental science.
Okay, so as the way I look at it, this major is kind of rare, you know, it's not very common the first time I heard this major. So what make you think to pick this major? I mean, as a young man, you know, we commonly heard about the major, like, you know, engineer and medical, people, you know, people want to be doctor or want to be engineer, or they want to study business so they can make money. So what make you think and pick up this major?
Well, it was kind of two reasons. Number one, I started reading books when I was younger about topics relating to the environment and how pollution was rising. And when I was in grade school, I remember, like, during 2004, 2005, 2006, there was a tremendous series of hurricanes, and that also related to my major, and that kind of influenced me to know more about why there's so many hurricanes and what causes it. And there was just other small little topics that contributed, and I wanted to learn about the environment, about climate change, and so that definitely picked up the reason as to why I chose this major. And also because the jobs are increasing, and that's an A+ for any college student.
Alright, so as we're talking about the scientific environment, and more specifically, you mentioned about ecology. Did you say that? Ecology? Okay, so
geology.
Geology. So as we're talking about scientific environment, so the question is it mainly is this subject mainly related to the physical environment, as related to chemistry, physics, you know, biology and geography, or is it can be in any way related to philosophical, psychological, social, political, and economical aspect?
Oh yeah, there's the field itself is very multidisciplinary. There was a lot of biology, chemistry, physics, many different sciences come into play when you talk about environmental science. But also you need to know, you can't come up with solutions just applied on science. You have to know a lot of economics, ethics, and philosophy to know what's better for the people. So just this past semester I had a class on economic geology and environmental economics, and we learned about, like, different ways where how it's not just coming up with an idea, a solution for the people. It's if it applies, and if it's actually right for the people, if it benefits the people. If it looks like a good solution, but it does bad for the people, then it's no good. It's always about the people first.
Alright, so the reason I asked that question, because as we're looking at the current situation right now, recently, you know, we have war and conflicts going on for you know, the last decade. The war in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and also the last recent news that's going on, the war in you know, in Jerusalem, Israel, you know, versus Hamas, and we know how many people, you know, die, the innocent and women and children die, you know. So the reason I ask this question, because the way I see it, it's very much related, you know, the war so much, you know, brings so much impact to the environment. The war causes chaos, devastation and destruction on the land and surrounding area. Also the war as we know, it's caused destruction on many infrastructure, like the pipeline, the clean water system, cause destruction on the farm and the vegetation, maybe an animal, and also, as I mentioned, it's also cause the death for the innocent women and children,
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your thought about it? How do you relate that?
Well, unfortunately, when it comes time to war, these are some of the factors that come into play.
Right.
Things get destroyed, and you can't really help that.
Right.
But it's inevitable.
Right.
They go into war and they destroy
Right.
certain vegetation, and
Right.
they destroy the land that's used for vegetation. And most of the times what happens is that the soil will become
Right.
less productive,
Right.
doesn't have as many nutrients, so therefore less food for the people, more
Right.
hunger.
Right.
There's not much that could be avoided
Right.
other than avoid war.
Right.
But yeah, war affects everything, even
Right,
the
yeah.
environment.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Everyone, just like I mentioned, I'm speaking on behalf of the non-profit organization called Interfaith Study and Community Development Association. So I just very much, this is just something that really concerns me. The war in Middle East is very much related with the religion and religiosity. The war and thing that's going on in the Middle East, something that's being discussed and being prophesied in this religious scripture, and it is gonna happen and the war gonna get worse. So this war, part of this war is the religious conflict, ideological warfare, and class civilization. So I say this is very much very much related with the subject that we're talking about, the environment. Now, another question is that I would like to ask you: what do you think about global warming? Do you believe it is? Some people say it's a myth.
Mhm.
So, do you think that this really occur? And if yes, so why and what is the cause of the global warming? And what need to be done as a solution?
It's a very deep question. Yeah, I do think global warming is occurring, and there are people that think, yes,
Okay.
it is a myth, and I've analyzed different graphs that show the increase of CO2 production, which as a result affects global warming.
Alright.
And I mean, global warming it's always been
Alright.
going on,
Alright.
even before humans existed.
Right,
It's
right.
been going on naturally from
Right.
volcanoes
Right.
and
Earthquake,
all the way
flood,
since past the ice age. It's been going on,
Okay.
but it's been going on at such a low level, and once we hit the Industrial Revolution,
Right.
it kind of kicked off from there. You could
Right.
see a gradual increase for every year from that one point, from the Industrial Revolution. So humans are the cause for the increase of it, not
Right.
so much for global warming, because it's, as I said, it's been going on before we even existed.
Right.
But we are the cause for the increase.
Right.
We pollute a lot of CO2
Right.
into the air
Right.
due to industrialization. We produce, we build, we buy equipment, we
Right.
renovate, and all this kind of stuff contributes to the
Right.
increase of CO2, along with other gases such as methane, and water vapor is another big one. So do I think it's going on? Yes.
Okay.
Are there ways that we could slow it down? Definitely, but it's gonna take the whole world,
Right.
not just one nation. China and India are two of the largest countries with the largest populations, and you know, if they don't get on board with slowing down pollution and slowing down CO2 emissions, then whatever we do, the United States does as a nation, means nothing. Yeah, just those two countries alone hold about 3 billion people. So everybody has to get on board as to coming up with solutions to lower the increase of CO2 production.
So are you saying that the global warming is caused by the overpopulation and also also the exploitation of the resources?
Not so much of overpopulation, because there are countries such as India and China that have a larger population than the United States, but the United States does produce a lot more CO2 than most of these larger countries, even though the population's nowhere near the size of China or India. But the thing is that we've started to adapt new energy resources. We adapt to solar, wind, and other alternative energies to become less dependent on fossil fuels.
Here's another thing. We know the rapid growing of the technological investment. So do you think in any way the technological investment cause or affecting the global warming? Is there any side effect, or does it in any way cause?
I'm sure it does. Technology definitely contributes, but I think it's more. I would think that technology now would help for the decrease, because with better technology we could come up with better ways to produce things. So I think that with better technology we could produce even less CO2. There's been better cars coming out on the road, more fuel efficient, to get more to the gallon. There's been more hybrids coming out, more electric cars. You're using that as an example. So with better technology we're able to produce a better product. So it all depends how it's being used. It could be used for the wrong way. But it all depends on who's using it and how it's being used.
Yeah, I guess that's good, a good thought and a good point of view, the way you put it. Now, the next question is very much related with your personality. You know, we've been together for a while, and I know you for a while. Now, and you told me that you don't smoke, you don't drink, right? As a young man. Now, that's very much impressive. You know, as anytime we look at a young man who don't smoke, you don't drink, and don't commit violence, that's very much impressive. And the question is, how do you maintain your status? How do you keep yourself clean, pure, and keep yourself to be a good person? How do you stay away from the bad influence around the neighborhood and around the block, with surrounding area, keep away from the drug and alcohol and crime?
I guess it's mainly because of the people that I hang out with, my friends, my family. That kind of influences me as well. Like, if I were to hang around with people who do smoke, drink, then more than likely I would probably be doing the same thing. But it's like, as part of my friends, like, we feed off of each other. Like, our success feeds off of each other, so we want to keep doing better. And nobody smokes or drinks, so we kind of want to see ourselves like that person.
Do you think the parents, the type of parenting? Do you think the family, the way your parents treat you, do you think that's very much affecting the way you are right now?
Definitely. So much more when I was younger than now. But now that I'm a college student, I have my own thoughts, my own ideas. but the same principles apply. Like
Right.
I still, just because I'm
Right.
a little more on my own doesn't mean I'm gonna go and change everything that I learned when I was younger.
Right.
All the principles still stay the same.
Right.
I know good from bad, so yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm very much, admire and impressed with your personality and the way you are and the study and the subject that you take.
Mhm.
And we don't see very much young people like you. So I really appreciate, I admire, and I wish that you can keep it, keep it that way, keep it in a good status, and hope you will be able to set a good example for any other young people.
Okay.
Now, the next question is, so what is your plan? Do you have any vision for the future? I mean, as related to how to make the world as a better place to live, and how to keep, how to keep the world as to be peace, and people can live in a mutual coexistence in spite of religious differences and conflict. So what's your vision? Do you have any thought about it?
Well, I put some thought as to what I want to do
Right.
upon graduation,
Right.
and I've been thinking about perhaps going into environmental engineering.
Okay.
Because that there was a lot more hands-on with engineering. You actually get to come up with designs and with new technological systems
Right.
that will contribute
Right.
as to how we use energy
Right.
alternatives or
Right.
something related to the environment.
Right.
Environmental science sticks more with the science part of it.
Right.
Environmental science doesn't really come up with in a way it comes with new ideas, but
Right.
the scientists come up with the ideas, the engineers make those ideas
Right.
happen.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm thinking about maybe going into engineering,
Okay.
and something I would want to do for the future,
Okay.
something to change.
Do you have something that you wanna? Is there anything that came up in your mind that you wanna do something bigger, something that can be impact the community, something that you wanna leave behind, like the legacy,
I'm not sure yet. Well,
I guess you still think about it, as you are growing.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
Do your own study. You might not get your thought right now, but as you go along, study, do your research, and try, your thought will get expanded. Okay, I guess the last and final question, as an educated person and an intellectual person, now do you personally, as I'm trying to relate with our organization, do you personally believe in the creation, or do you believe in evolution?
That's another very good
Okay.
question. Because I grew up as a Catholic,
Right.
so in school I was always taught about
Right.
Christianity and how God made the world in 7
Right.
days,
Right.
and that's just how we were taught. And going into high school,
Right.
it was the same way.
Right.
And now that I am majoring in a science at a university,
Right.
even though it's a private university,
Right.
they teach about other visions, and they teach about evolution
Right.
and how that may have happened, and
Okay.
other than the creation.
Right.
So as a science major, I see evolution maybe to be the more principal foundation as
Right.
to how everything came about, just because there was more factual data, and
Right.
there was a lot of supportive data that
Right.
leads up to evolution.
Okay. I guess
It's-
another thing that pop up in my mind. I just want to know, what do you think why do you think so much religion, religious division, and different denomination, and also they have denomination. Why do you think so much religion is splitting, division, and conflict? And I also want to know, do you even have some thought in your mind? How do you define religion?
How do I define religion?
Yeah, in your thought. Okay.
Wow. Say religion is it's the subject in which you
I guess you think it will be a difficult question. It's hard to define.
Yeah, it's a little touchy.
Okay. Do you think religion is very sensitive, very touchy?
Yeah, it
for
is.
some people?
It is. It's it's not that it's sensitive for me. It's just there could be so many definitions for religion. Like everybody could define it in a different way, and
or put it this way: do you think religion is something personal that should not be discussed in the public discourse?
I think it should be. Everybody has the right to express their beliefs and what they believe in. It's like, but that's the thing. Like religion isn't just about praising a god. It's also the combination of your thoughts and beliefs of what you think is right, and it's your perspective on the world.
And
So-
and do you also think that religious belief has to be supported with with the solid evidence and proof, instead of just belief, because people have a freedom, a free choice to believe whatever they want. But at the same time, other people also they require some a good argument and also supported argument. Do you think this would be a good way to put it?
I mean, as long as you believe in what you stand for, I think that's more important than caring about what other people think about your beliefs. Sometimes, it is what it says. Belief. Like you don't always have that supportive data, but you stand for what you believe and you want to stick with that idea. It's the thing with creation. There was not. It's in the Bible. Like that's your belief because it's in the Bible. You're gonna stand for creation, whereas other people stand for evolution because there was a lot of supportive data that stands for that. Evolution happens. So it's kind of like that same thing.
Well, I guess that's pretty much we want to discuss for right now. For watching and tuning in this conversation. And on behalf of Interfaith Study and Community Development Association, in conjunction with Philadelphia Roundtable, I like to thank you all. Don't forget to visit our website at www.philaroundtable.webs.com. You can also subscribe and visit my other website on IFS-CDA.webs.com. So again, thank you very much for watching and for tuning in this discussion. Hope we'll see you again in the near future.